Video has been brought to you by OneFootball, the app that gives you football news all over the world from 160 different leagues in 16 different languages. And this is the OneFootball app. As you can see, our teams are up here at the top. It's playing Crystal Palace. You've got news, so the latest news regarding football, anything to do with football, transfer talk, and of course, there's videos from around the world. So guys, make sure you go down to the description below and make sure you download the app.
What's going on, everyone? It's Mike back again.
Also, hello everyone, it's John back again with Michael.
Yeah, glorious. So, Everton take on Newcastle, Goodison Park, Tuesday night. John, you looking forward to it?
I am. I just hope it's a much improved performance from the game on Saturday. Wasn't a performance I was expecting against West Ham. I expected a lot more from Everton. You know, you predicted 4-1. I think I said it'd be a bit closer, 2-1. But Everton just didn't really get going. And as I said on my match reaction, we were lucky to come away with a draw.
Yeah, I agree. I think we were lucky to come away with a draw. I've looked at the game again. I watched Match of the Day, watched the highlights. Pickford certainly kept us in that game. I was certainly disappointed with our midfield. I thought Tom Davies was poor. Delph is a crab. He goes sideways. There was numerous times, you know, he just, in my opinion, didn't make the right pass. The ball went backwards. At one point, he kicked the ball out of play. And as I say, Tom Davies was no better. Are you concerned about that going up against Newcastle? Bearing in mind, they've just beaten Chelsea.
Yeah, I am concerned. You know, I was looking at their team from Saturday and they've got one player there who I wouldn't mind at Everton. It's John Joe Shelvey. I like John Joe Shelvey, to be fair. He can spray a good long pass. He gets stuck in. He gets forwards. He can chip in with the odd goal. I like John Joe Shelvey. So, you know, you've got him. You've got Maxim, who's back in the team as well, also after injury. So, you know, they've got players in that midfield that can hurt us as well. You know, they've got Atsu on the bench running against our fullbacks at the minute because, you know, Coleman's doing all right. But Luca Dean's mind's not on at Everton at the minute. I don't know. Read something today. He's got family problems. So I don't know if his head's in the right place at the minute. But Newcastle's midfield do scare me a bit, only for the simple fact we've got a depleted midfield and the players who we're bringing in just aren't up to standard. So, yeah, I am worried.
This is a game that essentially we played 4 weeks ago. Well, less than that. We played this 3 weeks ago at Newcastle. We obviously got a really positive result at that day. Are you expecting a positive result? Are you expecting us to beat them?
To be honest, Michael, I go into every home game expecting us to win it because I've always said, you know, 9 times out of 10 you should win and win your own games. And Newcastle got their first victory of 2020 on Saturday. So, you know, that'll give them a bit of confidence now. If they wouldn't have got that win, I would have been even more confident. But I do expect us to win on Tuesday, to be fair, because I think Ancelotti's press conference has come out. He said the right things. He's told the players what he thought of it. He's told them where they need to improve. So hopefully we'll see a bit of improvement on Tuesday. It is a game I expect us to win.
Yeah, I think you are. I think you're spot on. I think Newcastle will come into this game with a little bit of renewed confidence, a little bit of hope, and that's fine. That's good. You know, for a team like Newcastle, who essentially no one knows what they are going to do on any given day, they will be fairly confident. And, you know, they have got some good players. You've just mentioned it. Their midfield, Almiron, all of a sudden has started to score a couple of goals. I think he's got 3 in the last 6 games, which, bearing in mind, he hadn't scored since he joined Newcastle. He's scoring. St. Maxim, clever, fast footballer, good feet. He delivered the ball over for Hayden's finish against Chelsea. Again, another player. John Joe Shelvey, as you said, dominant midfield force, combative, great with the ball, good little bit of skill. And something reminds me, you know, it reminds me of a player that is, again, I was talking about this the other day, a player that's always ready to turn, ready to look up, ready to drive forward, and he does have that quality in him. He's also got a bit of a twat streak in him, but their midfield does concern me. But if you get past their midfield, their defence is poor. Their defence is poor. They've got a decent goalkeeper in Dubravka, I would say, but Everton, we've got to be fancying our chances. As long as we've got players like Richarlison back, who I thought that his work rate we massively missed against West Ham. What did you think?
Yeah, to be honest with you, Richarlison's really come into his own the last couple of weeks. I think I've seen a stat. He's done more running in the last 3 games before Saturday's games than any other player, so he's also bringing that side of his game into his game now.
Yeah.
Also, they've got Joe Linton as well up front, who's capable of getting a goal, so. But going back to what you said about John Joe Shelvey, then he's the sort of player Everton need at the minute. He'll work box to box. He's capable of a pass, as I said. He's a little shithouse in a way that which is what we miss. We haven't really got anyone like that where you can really get up the opposition's noses, and really piss them off. So John Joe Shelvey's the sort of player we need. If you keep him quiet and you keep St. Maxim quiet, that goes a long way to hopefully Everton getting a victory.
Yeah, I fully expect us to win. I think you're spot on, and I think one of the big things that Ancelotti will want from this game is just a little bit more fight. I would be surprised if we see Delph and Davies start together, personally, because there was not enough quality going forward out of the middle. So who do you want to see? Who do you want to see? Do you know what? I'd even argue with Morgan Schneiderlin has made more forward passes than Fabian Delph would in that West Ham game. And that was how bad Delph was, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think Delph has brought really anything to the team since he come in. I know he's been in and out with injury, but he was exactly the same at Manchester City, and thought he would have brought a bit more into the club, but he hasn't, and we've talked about transfers and we've talked about players coming in, and, Delph will be one of the ones who drops out, along with Schneiderlin, along with Davis, once Ancelotti ggets the team that he wants. And as I said the other day, it won't happen overnight. So until then, we are stuck with these bang average players. You can't say Delph's bang average with having 2 Premier League medals, but I think one of the seasons he only just qualified for the medal because he was out that long with injury. So I think he's been quite lucky to get his 2 Premier League medals, to be honest. But as you say, I think it is a game that if we can just give that extra 30%, I think it'll be a game that Everton will come out on top and win.
Yeah, okay. So what's your team?
Well, this is a hard one. It's probably the hardest team I've ever had to give. So I'm going with Pickford. I'm going to bring Baines in because, as I say, I don't think Dean's with it at the minute. So I'm going to throw Leighton Baines in because at least you know what you're getting with Leighton Baines when he plays.
Yeah.
So great. Pickford, Baines. If Michael Keane's fit, I'm putting him at centre half with Yerry Mina and I'm playing Coleman. If Richarlison's fit, I'm going to put him on the right, Bernard on the left, and I'm actually going to put Mason Holgate in the middle and put him back into the midfield because I thought he'd done well when he played there. If Sigurdsson's fit, I'll put Sigurdsson in there with Mason Holgate because then it gives us someone who can, make a pass. Calvert-Lewin, and I am going to stick with Moise Keane because at the end of the day, someone replied to me today on Twitter, and if you don't play Moise Keane and you're going with 2 up top, there's only Nias to come in, really. So, you have to stick with Keane. So I'm going with Calvert-Lewin and Keane up top, and hopefully he'll get this first goal. That's all he needs, a goal. He's not playing with much confidence. I think that's plain to see, but I think a goal will do him the world of good.
Yeah. So I'm pretty similar team to yourself. I'll go Pickford in goal. Left back, I'll go Leighton Baines for exactly the same reason you said. Keane and Mina, exactly as you said. I put Sidibe in at right back over Coleman. I just think he offers a little bit more as on the overlap than what Coleman does now, but that's just personal preference. Mason Holgate does go into midfield alongside Gylfi Sigurdsson. And the reason why Holgate comes into that midfield is probably because, as you could see against West Ham, he was the only player that was comfortable with the ball to his feet, taking people on, and he's playing at fucking centre-back. So I want to see a little bit more of that. And if you can do that dynamism in the middle of midfield, I ain't being funny. There's no reason he couldn't play there for a period of time. So, yeah, I stick Holgate in next to Sigurdsson. On the left, I'll put Bernard. I'll put Bernard on the left. On the right, I'll probably get a little bit of stick for this. But I'll keep Walcott on the right. And I'll put Richarlison back up front with Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Yeah. The only reason is I really, 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 really was concerned by Moise Kean. Not because of his quality, because he's clearly got it, and what we've seen, he's got it, but I think he needs to play with the 23s. And you are right, we've only got Nias apart from that, which is why I'd play anyone on the right to get Richarlison up front. I'd rather stick Dominic Calvert-Lewin on the right or whatever if that meant Richarlison would go up front. And I know Dominic Calvert-Lewin's got more goals, but the work rate Richarlison's got up top, tracking down, I just didn't think Moise Kean had that. And that could be an adapting thing, fine. But for me, Richarlison has to start up front, and that's just me personally.
Yeah, I think if Richarlison does play up front, Calvert-Lewin's been winning a lot of headers the last 12 months. He's brought that into his game now. He didn't used to be as much of an aerial threat as what he is now. So, if Dominic Calvert-Lewin can win the headers, and knock them down to Richarlison, because he's pretty capable of finding space. You've seen the goal the last home game where he got it out of his feet, twisted the defender inside and out and curled it in. So a few knockdowns from Calvert-Lewin, a few through balls to him. We can see what he is capable of in the box out, just, up front. So, I agree with you, as I say, I give my team, but to be honest with you, my team and your team should be capable enough of winning at Goodison Park.
Agreed. One last thing, Everton have been linked with Emre Can from Juventus, former Liverpool player, obviously, as we know. He's definitely got quality, no doubt about that. Would you like him?
£30 million, is it? £28 million for the 30-year-old. And, from when he was at Liverpool, didn't have a great, injury record. He was injured quite a bit. I just think it's a lot of money for someone with an injury record. We've already got enough of them at the club. We've got Delph, who suffers with injury in the midfield, and we really can't afford to be bringing midfielders in with an injury record, to be fair. But as you say, he's got quality. When he did play for Liverpool, he did show quality. I'd like us to look somewhere else apart from Emre Can, but if we can't, then he has got quality. So I'll sit on the fence over that one, to be fair. I wouldn't get excited about it, but if it happens, then, he does bring quality to the midfield.
Yeah, I mean, I'd certainly take him on loan first. If we could get him on loan rather than a fee, I'd be happy with that. I'm kind of, it sounds terrible, but because we haven't seen, a midfield free, but I would love to see a midfield of sort of like Gabarmin, Andre Gomez, and Can, because playing 4-3-3, I think that would really benefit, our forward line, because eventually you would have an on-form and a fit Moise Kean. You would have Richarlison, you would have Dominic Calvert-Lewin who's scoring goals. That would scare teams, and the midfield three being essentially all in my opinion, European quality. That's something that I wouldn't mind. But obviously, it's a long way off. We don't know about Gabarmi. We don't really know about Gomez. But I do think we could have an exciting end of the season. And I think a lot of people probably have been a little bit hampered by that. But I do think the end of the season could be quite exciting, and we could see a different Everton to what we've got now.
Yeah, I agree because we've got Gomez back in training now, who's made a magnificent recovery from the leg break. 8-9 weeks ago he was laying on the pitch with his ankle the other way. Now he's jumping up and down in the gym. What a recovery from Gomez. Everton's physios and the surgeons have done a great job with Gomez there. So he might be back before the end of the season. Gabama might be back before the end of the season, and you've got, as you say, Richarlison, Bernard, Calvert-Lewin scoring goals. So I think once Ancelotti gets them players back, they will straight away become his first choice, because we all know Tom Davies isn't his first choice, but he's got no other choice. Delph won't be his first choice because he hasn't been performing since he come in. Sigurdsson, obviously, he's been dropped a few times by him, and he doesn't really play Schneiderlin, so his hands are tied at the minute. But if we can get the class players back that we've just mentioned, I said we haven't seen enough of Gabama, but he will definitely offer a lot more than what we've got.
Yeah, okay. Score prediction then, John?
2-0. 2-0.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, 2-0. I just think Everton will have too much for them. And as long as we can get the ball forward from the middle of the park, like we didn't against West Ham, we should run Wyatt here. We really should. Apart from the players we mentioned earlier, they do not have anyone that concerns me.
No. You've got Lascelles or someone centre half. Everton were linked with him about 18 months ago. He's probably the best centre half they've got at the club, But as you say, yeah, he's good. He's what?
He's injured.
No, he played the other day.
Oh, did it? Sorry, I thought.
Yeah. No, he was back the other day. But as I say, we should have enough. This was one of the things Ancelotti said, from the game the other day. The build-up needs to be faster. The pressing needs to be higher. We need to, get the ball out quicker, attack the opposition with a lot more pace and speed, make things happen quicker. So, hopefully he's told the players that, and I expect Everton to come out the blocks on Tuesday.
Yeah, great. Okay. Anything else from you, mate? Anything else?
No, just what I did want to add regarding my match reaction. I had a bit of stick over the things I was saying about Yerry Mina. I did put on Twitter this morning, I was probably a bit harsh on him, to be fair. So I have had a bit of stick over Yerry Mina, maybe probably not warranted. What I will say is Yerry Mina needs to learn to control the ball better, because when the ball's passed to him, it takes him 2 or 3 touches a lot of the time to get the ball under control. And that's all I was saying. He frightens me when he has the ball. So, I just want to put the record straight there for the people who give me a little bit of stick. Probably I was a bit over the top with the criticism of Yerry, but that is one of the things that worries me. And also as well, I just wish he'd have a look forward a bit more, and bring the ball out a bit more instead of looking to do that back pass. But it will come, and as I say, Ancelotti's had 5-6 games in charge of them, so he's still getting his ideas across. There wasn't much training done between Christmas and New Year, so he's probably only had about 5-6 days full training with the team, so it will come. So I just want to say I probably was a bit over the top with my criticism, Mina.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I would say on that, John, is I agreed with some of the criticism on Mina. To be fair, he does put the shits up, mate, when he takes a touch. And certainly when a striker's running towards him, I think, fucking hell. He does concern me with the feet. It's not that he's not a good defender.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's great, good with his head. He's physically strong. He's combative. And he takes no shit. He seems to be a bubbly character. But I completely agree. Regarding his feet. It's probably not something. He's probably never going to be able to change it now. He's too old to do it, But if he could get his feet right, he would be a hell of a defender.
Yeah.
The other issue we have is, if we play Michael Keane and Yerry Mina, which we both said we would, neither of them are very good with the ball at their feet, and we play it from the back. So that concerns me.
And I think if we do bring a centre half in, which I think we will, and it's a top class centre half, I think the likes of Michael Keane or Mina, whoever plays with him, the other centre-half might bring more out of them. I just think them two players need a class centre-half alongside them to make them more relaxed, more calm on the ball. So, they might be better with another centre-half with them. But I think at the minute, as you say, Michael Keane, Yerry Mina playing together doesn't fill us with confidence.
No, agreed. One last thing then. I've said this about 10 fucking times now, but I do want to mention one last thing. In terms of centre-halves, as you've just said, Michael Keane, Yerry Mina, as I said, Mason Holgate. And obviously we brought in Braithwaite. Gibson made his appearance on the bench. What in terms of a centre-half, who would you be looking at? Is there anyone in your mind that you think, yeah, I like him, or...
Well, John Stones is struggling at City. He's in and out the team. So, we could get John Stones on loan. He's one who's good with the ball at his feet, and he's not scared to bring it out. He's another one, though. He tries to do. I think when he was at Everton, he tried to do one of them turns. I can't think of the player they called it after. But he's more composed on the ball than Yerry Mina and Michael Keane. So John Stones on loan. Someone like that. Premier League experience, because as you say, it's hard to buy one in January. So if we can get a Premier League defender on loan, maybe look at John Stones.
Fair enough. Although I don't think Everton could sign him now, if Villa go down, I would very much look at Tyrone Mings.
Good player.
He obviously was at Bournemouth. He didn't look great. But he's definitely come of age. He's got a decent turn of speed. He can defend. I like Mings. And that's someone I possibly would look at in the summer. I don't think you could now, but in the summer.
Villa wouldn't sell now in the position they're in the league. It'd take a shitload of cash to get Tyrone Mings from Villa at the minute. But hopefully, if he does come in the summer, he can bring his mate Jack with him.
Yeah, imagine. I firmly believe, and I got criticised for this a few weeks ago when I said that Grealish is the best English centre midfielder as of right now. And I had a load of Leicester fans piping up, shouting about James Maddison. But I am sorry. Jack Grealish is a better all-round player than James Maddison, irrespective of what anyone thinks. That's my opinion. And he really is quality. He will have every team in the Premier League would love Jack Grealish in their side. They really, really would. Really.
Yeah, I agree. It'd be hard to get Jack Grealish to Everton, and obviously we'd have to show him that, the plan that we've got laid out for the next 3-4 years under Ancelotti. Hopefully that could turn us out, because at the end of the day, apart from maybe, I know Ancelotti's a bigger name than Klopp, obviously, but, the situation that we're in, struggling at Liverpool at the minute, the way they're winning things, there's probably only, how many managers is there who could actually get Jack Grealish in where Jack Grealish wanted to play for the top manager? There's not many, so hopefully that would help, having Ancelotti's going to be a big pull. The name Carlo Ancelotti at Everton will be a big pull for players, and hopefully if he did go for Jack Grealish, hopefully it one that we could make work.
Do you have any concerns regarding, obviously Everton financially are not in the best position. Premier League looks like they're going to investigate into Everton's accounts. Obviously that could hinder any summer plans that Everton and Ancelotti have. Would if Everton can't do the business that they want to, either because of financial fair play, because of a transfer ban, whatever, what do you think Ancelotti will stick around? Because this wouldn't have been part of his plan.
I think Ancelotti will have been made aware of the financial fair play situation that Everton could find themselves in. I think there's going to be more sponsorship deals coming into the club via Uncle Alicia in one way or another. So,
yeah, I know. I will sponsor that cone there for £10.5 million. Yeah, that's it. The fan zone's going to be called the USM fan zone, I'm telling you.
Yeah. But, I think Everton will, listen, Mr. Usmanov and Mr. Mashiri have not got where they are for being stupid with money. And they've always had the right men behind them, financial men, what have you. So I have no worries about the hearing that's going to come from the FA. Mashiri and Usmanov will have had top men looking at that deal before they actually pushed it through.
Fair enough. On one last side note, and I want to make sure that we mention this. So there was one particular guy who commented on a lot of our video earlier. Got a guy called John Barrett, and I just want to say this is a personal shout out to you, John, from me, the founder of Network Michael D. Please never, ever, ever watch this channel again. Cheers. Fuck off.
Yeah, and and as I said to you, John, if you seem to have a lot of grievances between the channels, so me and Michael are always in the fan zone. Don't put comments or personal comments like you did at the bottom of the video that you did comment on. We're always in the fan zone, so if you've got anything you want to get off your chest aimed towards me and Michael, we'll see you near the beer van on Tuesday.
Yeah, come and have a chat with us. Maybe have a pint with us, and we can...
I'll buy you a pint, John. It's no problem.
you owe me a pint, you tosser.
More than that. More than one.
John, as always, mate, love you. Thanks for the video. I'm just trying to think. There's nothing else I really want to mention. Video's been 26 minutes long, but yeah, I could talk to you all day, mate. I really could. I tell you what.
I'm on the phone.
I know. Right, I'm going to ask one last thing. What's the best Everton YouTube channel currently?
Network Michael D with the host of John Maguire.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I want to hear. Guys, I'll see you
Have
soon.
that, John Barrett. Have that. See you, everyone.